Today in this lecture we are going to discuss bivariate probability distribution. So first recall that what do you mean by bivariate probability distribution. Okay. So in previous classes we learned what do you mean by probability distribution for a single variable. So suppose that consider one random experiment, okay, and we represent the outcome of a random experiment with the help of a variable. So suppose x is a variable which is associated with outcome of a random experiment. Then x is called a random variable. X is called a random variable. So we define one random variable, okay, on a as a outcome of a random experiment on some random experiment. Okay. So suppose that the outcomes of a random experiment that can be written as in the form of x1, x2, x3 and so on xn. So these are the values of random variable x which it assumes for a random experiment. And suppose if we evaluate the probability of random variable x at all these values like p of x1, p of x2 and so on, p of x3 and so on, p of xn. So here this represents the distribution of outcome of a random experiment in terms of x1, x2, x3 and so on, xn, and we evaluate the probability p of x1, p of x2, p of x3 and so on. So such a distribution of the values of random variable x corresponding to its probability, such a distribution is known as a probability distribution, because here the values of a random variable x, the outcome of a random experiment is distributed. Okay. So here the possible values of random variable x are x1, x2, x3 and so on xn, and corresponding to that we evaluate the probability p of x1, p of x2, p of x3 and so on, p of xn. So such a distribution is known as a probability distribution. And since we assume only one random variable, so simply it's called probability distribution, okay, or with one random variable, or simply probability distribution. Instead of taking one variable, if we take two variables, if we define two random variables on some random experiment as the outcome of random experiment. So suppose that we consider x and y with the two variables, and assume that x takes the value x1, x2, x3 and so on xn, and suppose that y takes the value y1, y2, y3 and so on yn. As if there is only one random variable x, then its probability is given by p of x1. If x1 assumes the value as x1, then its probability is given by p of x1. Now since we have the two random variables, we define two random variables on some random experiment. That's why to evaluate the probability we have to consider both simultaneously at the same time. So the probability x equal to x1 and the probability y equal to y1. That x takes the value x1, y takes the value y1. Such a concept of probability is known as joint probability. That concept is known as joint probability. So two random variables x and y are said to be jointly distributed. If they define on a same sample space. If x and y that they define on a same sample space, then these two tuples x, y, they are called jointly distributed, and the probability which is obtained by using these x equal to x1, y equal to y1, that probability is called joint probability. Okay. So just consider one random experiment. Define the two random variables x and y. Suppose that consider the random variable x here. X takes the value x1, x2, x3 and so on xn. Define another random variable y. So y takes value y1, y2, y3 and so on yn. So the joint probability is given by p of x equal to xn. Suppose that x assumes the value x1 and y takes y assumes value y1. So the probability of getting x equal to x1 outcome and y equal to y1, that is given by this one, p of x equal to x1, y equal to y1. Or simply you can denote it by p of x1 y1, or simply p11, where the first index denote the x value and second index denote the y value. So it's a x value, what x assumes, x value, and this denote the second random variable. Here in this case it's a y, so it's a y value. So it's a y value. So we can denote p of x1 y1 or p11. So that is called joint probability. There may be possibility that x assumes x1 and y assumes y2 also. Y assumes y2 also. So we can denote it by simply p of x2 y2, x1 y2, or p12. So you have to think about the various combinations, that x takes x1 value and y takes y3, x takes x1, y take y4, x takes x1 value and y take yn value. So there are various combinations. So if you prepare a table by considering all these values, so the tables looks like this one. Here x takes the value, just write down here x values here, capital X values, y values. Here x takes values x1, x2, x3, x4 and so on, xn, consider here as x1, x2, x3 and so on, something here, somewhere here xi, here y1, y2, y3 and so on, yj. And for our simplicity, assume that y takes value y1, y2, y3 and so on, different from xn, it's a ym for example, and so on, ym. So the probability that x takes x1 value and y take y1 value, that is written here, p of x1 y1, or simply you can write p11, or you can write p11 for our simplicity. Okay? And the probability that x takes x1 value and y take y2 value, that is written as p of 1, 2. P of 1, 2. The probability that x takes x1 value and y take y3 value, that is written as p13, and so on. It's a p1j and it's a p1m, where it means that it's a denote the x value of x, first random variable, that is x1 here, and the second index m denote the value of y, that is ym. So similarly you can write it's a p of x2 y1, or that is p21. Similarly you can denote it's a p22, p23 and so on, p2j and so on, p2m. Similarly we can write it's a, when x takes capital random variable x takes the x3 value, that is p3, and y take y1, p32, p33 and so on, p3j and so on, p3m. Continue in this way. Here pi1, pi2, pi3 and so on, pij and so on, pim and so on, pn1, pn2, pn3, pnj and so on, pnm. So such a distribution is known as bivariate probability distribution, because we consider only the two variables. Bivariate means we consider only the two variables. So such a distribution is known as joint probability distribution or bivariate probability distribution, where this a general term pij, that can be written as pij. It means that the x variable, your capital X takes xi value and random variable capital Y takes yj value, which is a joint probability. Okay. As we know that there are two types of random variable, discrete random variable and continuous random variable. So see, based on these two types, we can again distribute this joint probability into two types: discrete joint probability distribution and continuous joint probability distribution. This is simply joint probability based on the values of x and the values of y that it assumes. We can again classify this joint probability into the two types. One is the discrete joint probability and continuous joint probability. So first assume that the discrete one. Let that x and y are discrete random variable. So recall that in the discrete case we discussed previously, we learned that the probability mass function and the probability distribution. So exactly in the same way, the same thing we have to follow here. That is known as joint probability mass function. If x and y are the discrete random variables, then the joint probability mass function. Recall that in the single case when x is, we have only one random variable, then what is the definition of just a simply probability mass function? If that x is just a single random variable, there is no y. When x is a single random variable, then what are the probability mass function? If x takes the assumes the value x1, x2, x3 and xn with the probability p of x1, p of x2 and so on, then we can define the probability mass function if it satisfies the two conditions. The first condition is that p of xi is greater than or equal to 0 for all I. P of xi is greater than or equal to 0 for all I. And second condition is that summation over I, where I equal to 1 to n, p of xi equal to 1. So that is single case when then xi when we have only the one random variable, okay, which assumes the value xi. But in case of joint probability, we have the two variables, capital X and capital Y. We have the two variables, capital X and capital Y. That's why just you have to add the another variable also here. So the joint probability mass function is defined as p of xi comma yj for all ij, that is equal to greater than or equal to 0, p of xi comma yj for all I comma j greater than or equal to 0, and the double sum summation I equal to 1 to n, summation j equal to 1 to n, p of xi yj, the sum equal to 1. This summation over I and j equal to 1. So any function, any probability function which satisfies these two conditions, then that function is called joint probability mass function. That is known as joint probability mass function. Then after that, we discuss the probability distribution. Recall simple, what is the probability distribution? In the single case, when capital X is only one random variable, then the probability distribution is given by p of f of x, distribution function you can say. Okay? You can say distribution function. For a single variable, random variable capital X, how we can define the distribution function? That is capital f of x, which is equal to p of x is less than or equal to x. It's a summation of all the probability which is less than or equal to x. It means that it's a summation of all the probability which is less than or equal to x. It means that it's a sum of x is less than or equal to f, p of x equal to x. Summation of all x. But in case of two random variables, we have the joint probability distribution. We have the joint probability distribution which is given by, because we have the two random variables, that is which is given by f of x comma y, which is nothing but p of x is less than or equal to x comma capital Y is less than or equal to y, which is nothing but it's a double sum where x is less than or equal to x, y is less than or equal to y, p of x equal to x and y equal to y. That is known as joint distribution function. It is known as joint distribution function. Now let's come back to this one, the probability distribution the joint probability distribution table or bivariate distribution. Okay. So all these denote the probabilities here. Okay. If you assume the first row, then in the first row, the first element, the value of capital X is common here. That X takes value x1 only, whereas here Y takes value y1, here Y takes value y2, Y takes value y3, and so on. Okay. And if we take the sum of the first row, then how we can denote in terms of this joint probability distribution? Here it's a P of X equal to x1, okay, where Y is less than equal to capital Y is less than equal to Ym. Okay. So P of X equal to x1 is common here in all these one, and then Y raised over 1 to n. Okay. Or you can write it as, it's a summation over Y, capital Y is less than equal to Ym. Okay. P of X equal to x1 and Y equal to Ym. Or you can say summation over J equal to 1 to m, because Y takes value y1, y2, y3, and so on, Ym. Okay. So J equal to 1 to m, X equal to x1, Y equal to yj, capital Y equal to yj. Okay. So that's called your row sum, which is your row sum. So this row sum is known as marginal distribution function. This row sum is known as, we can relate it in terms of this one as, here x is constant term here. Okay, same, it's a throughout this complete way, it's the same here. So we can write f of capital X of x1, capital X of x1, where x1 is constant, that we are taking in this x, we are taking all x1 value only for all these, and wherever y range from y1 to ym. So this function is known as marginal distribution function. We are keeping x as a constant, x as the same, x equal to x1, and we are changing the value of y, y1, y2, y3, and so on. So that this sum is known as marginal distribution function. This is known as marginal distribution function. Similarly, come to this first column here. Throughout this first column, the y is constant. Y, we are taking the y value as the y1 only. Y value is the y1 only, and we are varying the value of x. So we can derive it in terms of distribution function as f of y, y1, f of y. It means that here y1 is same, okay, and we are varying the value of x. Where the x values are changing. X takes x1, x2, x3, and so on. Just after that, the first index is different. P1, 1, P2, 1, P3, 1, Pi1, Pn1. So x takes value x1, x2, x3, and so on, xn. Whereas the y is same, y1, y2, y3, and so on, yn. So this is known as marginal distribution function. Marginal distribution function of y. It's known as marginal distribution function of y. Okay, so we discuss here only the what do you mean by bivariate probability distribution, what is probability mass function, what is joint distribution function. Okay, then the marginal distribution function for x, marginal distribution function for y. Now we consider one example. There are 3 red balls, 4 white balls, and 5 blue balls. There are 3 red, 4 white, and 5 blue balls. So total balls are 12. So in how many ways we can select 12 balls? The number of ways to select 12 balls, to select 3 balls, the number of ways to select 3 balls out of 12. So that is your total number of ways, that is 12C3. How we can simplify this one? By using formula 12 factorial divided 3 factorial into 12 minus 3. 12 minus 3 factorial. Okay, and if you simplify it, it comes to be 220. So there are 220 ways to select the 3 balls out of 12. Okay, think about what are the possibilities. Okay. What are the possibilities? So see here, we have the red ball, white ball, and blue ball. So what are the different possibilities? Just list out some possibilities here. Either you can select all 3 are the red. So there is a 0 white, 0 blue ball. That is a one way to select all 3 balls. Okay. Or you can say 0 red, 3 white, you can say all 3 whites and 0 blue. Or you can select 0 red, 0 white and 3 blue. Or you can select 1 red, 0 white, 2 blue. That is one of the possibility. Or you can select 1 red, 1 white and 1 blue. Or you can select 1 red, 2 white, 0 blue balls. Okay. That is a combination with 1 red. Or you can select, you can say 2 red, 0 white, 1 blue. 2 red, 1 white, 0 blue. Okay. Like this way. You can list out all combination, all possibilities. So by considering all the possibilities, you have to find out the probability. That what is the probability that all 3 red balls get selected? What is the probability that all 3 white balls get selected? Okay. If the 3 white balls are selected, it means that 0 red and 0 blue balls. Okay. So like this way. So see, what are the possible values of possible ways to select the red ball and to white ball or blue balls. Okay. So since our aim is to get that, we are selecting 3 red balls. Our aim is to find out in how many ways, or you can say, so let X denote number of red balls get selected. Denote number of red balls selected, and Y denote number of white balls selected. Number of white balls are selected, get selected. Okay, so what are the possible values of X and Y? So X takes either 0 value or 1 value, 2 value or 3 value. Similarly, Y takes 0, 1, 2, 3. So you have to evaluate this. The probability of getting 0 red, 0 white balls. That is P of X equal to 0 and Y equal to 0. If 0 red and 0 white are selected, it means that all the 3 are blue balls. We consider this option. 0 red and 0 white are selected, means that we consider all the 3 are white balls. So see, in how many ways you can select the 0 red ball? There are 3 red balls. So in how many ways you can select 0 red ball? That is 3C0. There are 4 white balls. In how many ways you can select the 0 white balls? So that is 4C0. Okay. So there are 0 red ball, 0 white ball. It means that there are 3 red balls. The 3 red balls are selected. This combination is this. Okay. So in how many ways we can select the 3 red balls out of 5 white balls? That is 5C3. So 5C3 divided by total number of ways to select the 3 balls is 220. So if you simplify this one, let's say 3C0 is 1, 4C0 is 1, okay, and then 5C0. 5C3. 5C3 just you have to evaluate by using the formula 5 factorial divided by 3 factorial into 2 factorial. It can be evaluated by 5 factorial divided by 3 factorial into 5 minus 3 is 2 factorial divided by 220. So if you simplify this one, you will get 10 by 220. So the probability of getting 0 red and 0 white ball, that is 10 by 220. Similarly, if you evaluate the probability of getting 1 red ball is selected and 0 white ball, means 1 red ball is selected, 0 white ball, it means that the 2 balls are blue. 2 balls are blue. That is 1 red ball, 0 white ball and 2 balls are blue. So that is obtained here as 3C1 into 4C0 into 5C2 divided by 220. That is 3C1 means 3, 4C0 means 1 and 5C2. 5C2 is nothing but again a 10 here. 5C2 is a 10 here. It's again a 10 divided by 220. So it's a 30 by 220. So the possibility that there are 30 by 220 ways to select the 1 red ball, 0 white ball and 3 red ball. So in this way you have to evaluate all the probabilities. Okay, that one more we will discuss here. The probability of getting 1 red and 1 white. 1 red, 1 white. It means that there is a 1 blue ball. There is a 1 blue ball. 1 red is gets selected, 1 white is gets selected. So there is a possibility of getting 1 blue ball. So it's nothing but since there are 3 red balls, so we can out of these 3, in how many ways we can select 1 red ball? It's a 3C1. There are 4 white balls, so in how many ways we can select 1 white ball? That is 4C1. Okay, and 5C1 divided by 220. Okay. So it's a 3 into 4 into 5 divided by 220. So just calculate how many ways we can select 1 red, 1 white ball. So just you have to evaluate this one. So it's a 60 by 220. So in this way you have to evaluate all the possibilities. And with the help of this one, if you prepare a table, then the table here y values, y takes values 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then write the x values here. X takes value 0, 1, 2 and 3. Okay. So this one is nothing but P0, 0. So already we evaluated that P0, 0 is 10 by 220. So it's a 10 by 220. Okay. Let's say x is 1 here, y is 0, it's a 1, 0. So I already evaluated that it's a 1, 0 is here, 30 by 220. Okay. And already we evaluated this x equal to 1, y equal to 1, it's a 60 by 220. When x equal to 1, y equal to 1, we evaluate this value also 60 by 220. In the same way, you have to evaluate all these values. In the similar way, we have to evaluate all these values. So if you evaluate all these values here, then what will get here? When there is a 0 red ball and 1 white ball. So if you evaluate by using this concept, you will get the answer is 40 by 220. It's a 30 by 220. It's a 4 by 220. So if you evaluate all these, you will get these probabilities. So if you have all the probabilities here, then you will get such type of probability. These calculations here, then you get the final probability distribution table or bivariate probability distribution that seems like this one. So today we stop here. We'll continue in the next class.